In last lecture, we have talked about configuration of tsconfig.json file. We have explained it on example with the add event listener options, where I showed you that this type is coming from the lib folder of a TypeScript from a dom.t.ts file. Let's continue. Let's talk about the other options, and let's take a look on the next env.dts file. These other typing files which will define additional files from these folders here, from the next folder and the next types/global. Okay, again, I will show you type example. We'll go to node modules folder. So now in this case, we need to find the types in the next folder. So we'll go to node modules. We'll find here a folder called the next. Okay, so let's find here simply next folder. Okay, here and in the next folder. Okay, actually here we need to go to the types and index.ts file. So all these types are included here. So if you don't know where this file is located, you can also hold here Control or a Command key on your keyboard, and you can just simply, you can hover over and you can click here on the next, and this will locate this is import of this file of index.ts. And here this other one, next/types/global, is this one here. Okay, it says multiple files is open here at the same time. So this is the other file in the next folder here. So in the next types and the global.ts is this file, and the next is this file here, index.dts. Okay, let's say example of a global.t.ts. So for example, here we are declaring namespace Node.js and the interface process. I will create here a new variable. I'll call it let be, and I will specify here type of this variable will be Node.js. Oops, not like this. Node.js as defined here. I'll copy it and paste it here. Process, and now on the variable b, I can assign all of these of type of the process. Okay, so I can access here this property of the browser. Okay, because the process interface process define read only browser. So defined that if we have a variable with the type of the process, it should have a property of the browser. So I should be able to get here this autocomplete of the b.browser. You can see it's here. So of course we didn't create any variable and anything. If I will console log it out here, I will write here b.browser. I won't get any errors, but I can access this property. And this is also specified by this next-env.ts. If I would remove this file, for example, I would remove this line here, you would see you would get error here that this types is not found. Okay, all property browser does not exist on a type process because this is defined here in this file what I have just removed. Okay, so that's additional typings file that provides R with the types. Okay, next types global and then next. Okay, so this I guess this file is explained enough. By the way, this 3 slashes is called as a / directive. Okay, it's basically single line comments which will define the typing file in your node modules folder, as you could see. We can define types files by ourselves. Okay, cancel this. I just want to close node modules folder. Okay, so I'll close node modules folder, and we can define our own types in a similar file with the extension of a .d.ts. Okay, so when I will create here a new file, I will call it just a test.d.ts because I will remove it anyway, and I will define here a new interface, let's say person, and I'll specify the person should have a name of type string. I should be able to access the person now in my other files. Okay, so then I will go to index.ts6 and I will write here let person of type person. Okay, I can assign here object, and you can see here immediately that we have here error because it's complaining that the person is declared. Okay, that's not the issue I'm looking for, but this one here. Property name is missing in the type, but required in the type person. Simply this error is happening because we are defining here interface person. Our person variable is a type of the person, but the person should also specify name. So if we are creating an object of a type person, we should specify her name and some name here. And this typing file, again, test.ts is available because these types are available globally in all of your compiled files by the TypeScript. Okay, so if I would remove the include of TS files, this type would be not defined. So if I would simply comment this out, I will go to my index.tsx. I'm getting here error, cannot find person because this file is defined here in a TS file, but now I'm not including it in the compilation process because it's not here. So simply I will uncomment this, and now I think it's pretty clear. I know maybe types are not pretty clear yet. I just showing you example of the configurations here, but we'll dive into the types in the next lectures. Also, about these options here, guys, you don't need to worry really about these options. There's just some specific options how we are processing our code, some specific rules for our code. For example, strict here. This will enforce some stricter rules for a TypeScript. So when I will mark it as a true, maybe I should see here also some errors. I will save it. I'll say here that now our TypeScript will be in a strict mode. And when I will go to index.tsx, you can see here already we have here issues. So, for example, here I will have a variable b is used before being assigned. Okay, so you cannot access your variable before you will assign any value to it. Because you can see here, I'm just declaring here variable b, but I'm not assigning here any value. So this should be undefined, so I shouldn't be able to access the browser, and this enforced by this strict rule. So we will leave the strict rule like in a true option. If you are interested into the other options here, just simply hover over them with your command key or control key like this, or just hover over them, and you can see here see more, and you can click at this, open it, and this will provide you more details about these options. For example, allow.js, allow JavaScript files to be imported inside of your project. Okay, so you just don't need to allow the TypeScript and TSX, but with the allow.js, you can also create normal JavaScript files, and these ones are processed as well. So I can still write a valid JavaScript code. I can still use the JavaScript files in my folders, and they will be still valid. Next to the options, you can also default value. You can see here default value here. Sometimes you have also recommended value when you are going to some values. For example, here I think script lib checks. When I will go here to this option, I will hover over, I will click here on the additional informations, open. Sometimes you have also recommended value here, recommended. So if you see the recommended value, you should basically, in usual cases, you should copy the recommended one. That's true. And here, skip lib checks, we have also true. But about these options, guys, you don't need to know really in the details if you are interested in a TypeScript. If you need some of these options, you can just look at them up when you need them. Or if you're interested into some specific options, just ask me in the comments, and I will be more than happy to help you out and to provide you more additional information about it. Okay, so I think now it's pretty clear. Now we can finally talk purely about the TypeScript, and we can define our own types, and we can play with them, and then we can start working on our e-commerce application. We'll comment this line of code, so we don't see here any errors for now. We'll be removing it anyway later. So just be sure your application localhost 3000 is working. You can see here still hello world, and we'll continue in the next one, guys. So see you there.